What's up, guys? Welcome back to Digital Dive-In. My name is Monkey.
It's your boy Wally, who's falling asleep.
I'm back continuing right where I left off from the first Spooky Series episode. I'm playing Doom, and this is Spooky Series number 2. We're diving into the top 6 horror games. Our top 6, anyways. There's a lot of great horror games out there. There's a bunch of goofy ones as well, but this is going to be our top 6 horror games that we love personally. If you have some, please let us know your top horror games that you like to play. But anyways, without further ado, I'm going to start off with my number 3, and that's going to be the Dead Space series. Dead Space series is probably one of the first horror games I ever played, because that was on like my PS3, and that was around the time when I started really getting into video games and started testing out other genres of games and shit. And Dead Space was...
I had Dead Space 2 for the 360. There we go.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
I had it for my PS3, and it was so great. That was one of the few games that like genuinely freaked me out, and I played it purely because of that reason. So
I didn't even like play it for that reason. I played it because like like the story was cool.
oh yeah,
It had all this like cool armor and shit. I was like, yo, this is neat.
yeah, I agree. Those games were insane, and I love like psychological horror shit. Like that's my favorite type of horror. When I found these games, I was like, yes, this is amazing, because it paired the gore of like the gory horror with psychological horror, and I was just all for it. Oh man, I miss those games. I really wish they would come out with another Dead Space game.
Did you even play like Dead Space 2? I mean, 3?
Yeah, I played Dead Space 3.
What did you think about it?
It was good. It's not as good as Dead Space 2 is my favorite of the series. So,
I mean, Dead Space 1 was pretty dope as well.
oh yeah, Dead Space 1 was amazing. But if we're talking about in the entire series, Dead Space 2 is my favorite out of all of them. And I just died.
But no, Dead Space 2 was like the tits.
It was an incredible game, and I loved it so much. But yeah, that's my third favorite horror game series, or horror games in general. Like, they're great, but they freaked me out so much that I never replayed them much, because they're freaking terrifying to me.
No, you're just being pussy.
Fuck you. But anyways, what's your number 3? Okay.
The Evil Within series, especially Evil Within 2.
Evil
Within 2 was like, ooh.
Yeah, I agree.
Evil was like 2 was like, yo, what the hell? Like that was like shit.
It was. It really was. All those games were really cool, and that also is another psychological horror game series that I really, really appreciated.
I thought it was, to be honest. Like,
they're really, really good.
The one monster, like the chick made out of all the heads and shit.
Yeah.
Like that buzzsaw arm.
Oh man, that was freaky as hell.
That was like creepy, but it was like cool at the same time.
It was.
But my thing is, like, it kind of went on the same path. Like, the second one kind of went on the same path as the first one. I was like, alright, that's cool. But
yeah.
Throw some more things at me like that.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the second game. Like, it was good. The first game was great. But, like, the second game, it gave us just more of what we saw in the first game. So I wasn't, like, all that scared by it. Like the first game was freaky. In the second game, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, this is creepy, but still, both of
I
them were
mean,
great games.
my thing is, oh no, they were beautiful. Like the gameplay was dope. The monsters were very well created.
My number 2 is actually it's not an indie game, but is a very underrated game. It's a game that didn't get a lot of recognition. It's called The Observer. Made by the same guys who made the game Layers of Fear, which is a fantastic game. And if you haven't played Layers of Fear, fix that, because that's probably one of the best horror games ever made. It's just so creepy and scary, and they just did such a great job with it. And The Observer was really, really creepy because it tied in like sci-fi with horror and psychological horror too. And that one was just, oh my god, it was so cool because you basically play as like this detective who could jack into the minds of the deceased and relive their final moments, sort of, to figure out how they died and stuff. You have to remember that you're jacking into the mind of a dead person. So it's like messed up. Like you find some really messed up stuff. And it's like, what is happening? This freaky ass ghost demon thing that you have to avoid, basically. Like there's no fighting involved in this game. It's basically just a mystery. So it's one of those types of horror games. And those are actually my favorite types of horror games. I don't really like the horror games where you have to fight. Don't really keep my like the fear level for me, because there comes a point in the game where you get OP and then the freaky guys aren't that much of a threat anymore. Case in point, Bioshock and Prey and those type of games.
Prey was a good game too.
That was a good game. That was a great game. But like I said, it didn't really keep that fear aspect, because I just got OP and then everyone like wasn't really a threat to me anymore. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But The Observer was like, I really wish that game got a lot more recognition than it did, because it was so well written and well developed.
There's not that many games that are like well written anymore.
There's not, and it's sad. And I miss them. There needs to be more well written games. Plus, it was also one of those games where they're like the main protagonist is actually played by an actual actor, like based off an actor.
Mm-hmm.
He does like the mocap for it and everything. Rutger Hauer. He plays the main protagonist of the game, and he's just so freaking great in that game. Like, first of all, I just love Rutger Hauer to begin with, so I was super happy with basically playing as him. I'm like, yes, give it to me. Yay. But yeah, so that's my number 2. So what's going to be your number 2, Wally?
Resident Evil 7.
Oh yeah!
I like it so much because it was done differently than every other Resident Evil, basically. Instead of third person over the shoulder.
Yeah, no, it's a first person. Yeah, that's probably one of the best Resident Evil games they've come out with. Like, it was really, really good.
It was done good. The character arcs were so well developed.
Mm-hmm. They really were.
The creatures were cool because they look like black tar monsters, but they were vomit technically.
Yeah.
Think about it. When I was playing it, I was like, okay, so there's the daughter. I'll fight her after she done like took your hand. Then there was the dad.
Yeah.
And like he was a bitch to deal with, and then there was the mom. I'm like, alright. But like after every fight, the grandma would come back and just randomly be sitting somewhere. Like,
right? She was terrifying.
Sooner or later, I'm gonna have to. Sooner or later, I'm gonna have to fuck this old lady up, and I don't want to fuck the old lady up. What turns out, she's been the reason why everyone's like this. I was like, oh crap,
Right.
twist. But like, my favorite fight was the mom because she turned into like a spider. If you think about it,
Yeah.
which was like cool.
She was real freaky.
She was like, her arms and legs got real big. I was like, what? What is this?
The whole game was super freaky, and that was one like the Resident Evil series
it was very well done.
It was the Resident Evil series up until now, or up until then rather, was like tapering off a bit and getting a bit stale, and this game just revived everything. It was so great.
Well, wait, didn't they just do a remaster for Resident Evil 2?
They're remaking Resident Evil 2, I believe. They're remaking it, and I'm super psyched. It's gonna be real good.
Resident Evil 7 was like, it was one of my favorite ones because.
Oh, I think it's everyone's favorite one because that
Africa?
one. Oh, I forget.
Was that 5? Was it Resident Evil 5?
Resident Evil 5 was like probably one of the worst. Because that's when they introduced the whole like co-op thing. And it just didn't work.
It was fun because like I remember the first time playing it was with Jose. To be honest.
But no, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard was by far the best Resident Evil game to date. Easily. Moving on to my number 1, I gotta give it to the Silent Hill series. Because, honestly, you can't really have a top horror list without Silent Hill being on that list, because Silent Hill basically defined the series as it is now. Especially Silent Hill 2.
I like Silent Hill for the sole fact that it was based off of Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, the whole series is insane, and especially Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is my all-time favorite horror game ever.
I would consider Silent Hill like a Lovecraftian type game as
well.
It
100% is. Silent Hill did horror gaming in such a unique and interesting way that has never been done since. In like the way they shot the game, like the camera angles and everything, like that was so unique and so cool. And I died again, son of a bitch.
My favorite thing was how they the details behind all their creatures and like the reasoning for it.
Like that's one of the games that you have to like not read into, but there's more beneath the surface than just, you know, horror. If that makes sense. Like you really have to pay attention to the story and everything to actually get like the real juicy bits of that game. Because everything about that game is amazing. And it wasn't just that it was scary, it was creepy. Like really creepy. And you don't see that a lot in gaming anymore. And I've never gotten over Silent Hill 2. It's such a great game. If you haven't gotten around to play it, I believe that they released a remastered edition not that long ago.
They had to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure they did. So if you have never played a Silent Hill game, check out the remastered edition. It's real good. Like, really good. And you will not be disappointed at all. Wally, what's your number 1?
Outlast. The Outlast series.
Oh yeah.
I've been playing it on the Switch with my girlfriend lately for like game nights. Because I'm trying to like introduce her to like gaming.
Yeah.
If she wants to. So we were playing that not too long ago, and then she was like, "All right, I'm done. Turn it off." Like, all right,
it's a terrifying game.
Play Mario Kart. I'm like, all right.
That's a good anti-horror. Yeah. But no, Outlast, it's one of those games where, like, it's one of those horror games where you can't fight or do anything. You just have to avoid, hide, and run away. And I think that's super scary. To me, anyways.
That's one of the reasons why I like that, is because you have to like keep running and hiding.
And even the story behind both of the games is really, really good. Personally, I like the second game better because they kind of fixed what the first game had issues with, especially when it came to like the camera and this general gameplay.
Oh, I fucking hated it when I went on like chases and I ran out of batteries and I really needed batteries.
That was real annoying. That got real old really fast.
I was like, how do you want me to do this when there's no batteries? And then I died.
Yeah, no, the second game, it fixed a lot of the issues, and I think that for that reason I liked it a lot better.
I liked it for the cult reason.
Yeah, when frickin' Far Cry 5 came out, I was drawing so many parallels to Outlast 2. It wasn't even funny. But no, with Outlast, those games are legitimately terrifying. And I think the reason I like the second one more is because it was more realistic than the first one was. The first one had a lot of paranormal shit and a lot of well, it was a mental hospital, you know, so it had a lot of, it dealt a lot more with psychological shit than the second game. But at the same time, I don't know, the second game was just so damn freaking creepy.
They should like make a Far Cry horror game like that. That'd be cool. Outlast 1 had so much no nudity. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, it did.
What the fuck? Especially like the two crazy people that kept following you around.
Yeah. Oh, they were freaking creepy as hell.
They weren't like annoying. They were just like weird.
They were really, really weird. Oh my god, why aren't these guys dying? And I'm dead. But yeah, no. Outlast, really, really good games. Honestly, they're one of the best modern horror games you can play. Because they took a lot from like the Amnesia series and those type of stuff. It had a great story too.
Like,
but
there are a few like horror games that like do the genre justice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm playing a horror shooter right now. Like, I wouldn't really call this game like horror or scary or anything, but it is definitely gruesome. And you get that gore factor in there, so you know, doom is doom. Do you have any honorables?
The Red Dead Redemption. No.
Undead Nightmare.
That, for the sole fact that you get to like, if you were like good enough at finding them, you get the horses of the apocalypse.
That was dope. I love that. And honestly, that one type of zombie that you came up against, like that really fast motherfucker, that dude was creepy as hell. Like,
there was that and Dead Rising. There we go.
Yeah.
For the sole purpose of the 7 deadly sins are incorporated with some of the killers and psychopaths and bosses, which I found like fun.
One honorable mention I have to mention is son of a bitch, I died again. The Metro series. I don't know if that's really a horror game, but it had some horror aspects in there, and it's a really, 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 really good series. So, and I also have to, of course, throw in there Layers of Fear. I mentioned that when I was talking about Observer, but Layers of Fear is a really, really good game, guys. Anyways, guys, let us know what your top 6 horror games are. Let us know what your favorite horror game of all time is down in that comment section below. If you like this video, please swipe right on that like button. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more of us diving into the latest news surrounding TV, video games, and movies, and of course giving our opinionated pieces on the latest games releasing, please hit the subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notified whenever our videos go live. Wally, thanks so much for staying up with me tonight and talking horror games.
No problem, buddy. I'm gonna lose a finger tomorrow.
Oh boy. Stay tuned for Spooky Season Episode 3, where we're talking about the top 6 kid Halloween movies. And of course, we're having a really dope Halloween special that's going live on Halloween night. So look forward to that as well.
I'm gonna be drunk for that, hopefully.
Me too. Ladies and gents, stay excellent, and we'll see you in the next dive-in.